Hi, I'm just going to talk to you today about how I met Ascended Well Henry, because I talk a lot about Henry, and Henry connects with the majority of my sessions with clients, because Henry is just such a unique character for me, and I've developed a bond with him. So when I started, I have been an energy healer and channeler for many years, and I actually started with animal communication. Um, and then it went dormant, and had to learn to get rid of those blocks that formed at that time. And as I came in, I started doing and yet another course. I'm always doing courses. And I started working with the whales and dolphins on the energy light medicine course. And I just, at the beginning, right in the first or second lesson, I started seeing this whale. It was upright. I knew it wasn't on the planet. And I knew it was probably on Sirius B. The whales and dolphins, it's not the original planet. They ruined that with their overuse of technology. And they were invited to move to Sirius B, a lovely water world that Henry takes me to on a regular basis. And one day I'll get through to doing some meditations on what he shows me, because it's just beautiful. So I was seeing him on Sirius B, but I couldn't get to him because he's in another dimension. And this is often the case when I connect to the ascended whales or dolphins. The ascended dolphins, particularly when I work in the cosmic womb, they're each of them who go around the edge of the womb, the cosmic womb, helping transmute the energies that come off the physical body immediately. So it's just for a moment you feel awful feelings. It's just amazing. But they're in different dimensions as well. So I was trying to reach Henry, but I couldn't seem to get there. It was the same with the ascended dolphins. I couldn't get there either. But I was shown by my guides. I had a series of channelings with my guides, and one of the guides appeared to me to be shimmering. And actually, what he was doing was coming in and out of dimensions. So he was multidimensional and moving through the dimensions very rapidly. I'm not a big sci-fi person, really. I don't really understand dimensions. And it's taken me a little while to sort of adjust to it. But my angel said to me, you've got to shimmer. And when you look at Henry or the ascended dolphins, you have to shimmer to get to them. So I had these weird few weeks where I was learning to shimmer and going in and out of the consciousness of different dimensions. And they said just to focus on Henry and shimmer to him. And eventually I managed to do it. It seemed to take a long minute or so, which seemed a long time. But eventually now I can just do it. And I'm there. But because that's how the mastery develops. Sometimes I think for some it will just come incomplete, but for most of us it grows and develops, and that's how it tends to do for me. Though I have gifts that are suddenly coming in. So I connected to Henry, and I stood next to him on Sirius B, and there they access the Akashic records of Earth on Sirius B, and they go through our records and update it and heal aspects of it and our DNA, whatever they need to do. The very advanced being. And he started showing me that he works with his fingers. And it's like on a keyboard, like on a piano keyboard. And he's able, as he works, he's able to move information around very easily on this big computer with lots of files. So they taught me to do that for quite a while. And I was sort of learning what they were doing about how they work. So they worked with sound and tone. So of course, if it's a keyboard, it is making tones. But they were also like how we were able to copy and paste and move things and pictures and change things. And they work so rapidly, really incredible to watch them. So I stood next to Henry quite a lot while he was doing it, and he encouraged me to have a go on the keyboard. And a big screen. Really, it was very, very fast technology, very easy to use and user friendly, as they say. And so I was able to work with my hands in the Akashic records as well. And then Henry started showing me how to sort of connect to him in ways that I don't really was missing. So I had this feeling that of familiarity when I connected with Henry. And I used to have hugs from him. I asked for hugs a lot. And I just so love receiving the hugs and the love from the ascended beings. And they give it so freely that heart opens wide. And Henry in all worlds have got these enormous, well, of course, they are physically, literally enormous hearts, but their heart energy is just fabulous. And they bubble up. And what we don't understand, they have this amazing sense of humor. And then they laugh, they do a belly laugh, a chest laugh, so the whole chest rises and falls. And that used to remind me of my dad's laugh, because he had a very strong belly laugh. And I'm sure I had a dream, and I've had various talks with them. And I think my dad was related, so that means he was either a soul or a soul extension, or the Wells, or one of the, I think it might be Henry, is part of my father's soul family, which is very connected with mine. And to be honest, these things are sort of unknown to us, and we have to develop it. There are people out there, I suppose, probably more advanced. But of course, my skills lie in the healing and getting you to that place of connecting and learning for yourself. And so Henry was showing me that there was a soul connection with me. But I know other people do connect to Henry, and they are welcome to. He's not my personal property in any way. He's a very loving, independent being, and who is a great gift to humanity. And he's shown me that he's able to collate the information from the record. So often when I work with a client, they might have 10 or 15 or more issues affecting this particular issue that they're dealing with in their life. So they're aspects of an issue. And I often say to him, we can't possibly work on 20, 25 issues in a session. It's just impossible. So he collates them, and he works on them and works on them. And I think it's a continuous process as the energies are flowing through me and through the client and the situation. He's working on his keyboard, and he's collating the information. And so it's parrying down, and shifting stuff simultaneously out of your Akashic records. And let alone, really, from our perspective, we're not completely aware of the detailed, advanced work that he's doing. It's more about, we're just aware that there's shifts happening. And of course, I describe everything I see. I'm sometimes seeing so much, it's difficult to describe it all, but I do try and describe it all. And often I work in multidimensionally as I'm working. So we might be with Henry working in one way, and your DNA may be being changed by the dolphins, and they show me stuff in that. They show me stuff down the timelines, and other lives that we're going in. We might go in several lives. The well said that I have one of my masteries is that I can connect to millions of energies at the same time. Well, who would know? Because I didn't know. But they've been training me up as I'm going forward in my mastery to develop it. So because we're in such need on the planet to shift things need to really shift on the planet. So when Henry's helping me with that, he's helping me at the moment with something I'm learning to do. I keep seeing animals been a sort of a really rough time in abusive situations, with real pain in their eyes and energy field. And of course, they are soul extensions of somebody. So I go in and he's teaching me, it's actually quite difficult accessing the energies. The Wells have said that there are a lot of soul contracts that they will help people by this work that I'm learning to do now. And it's just so wonderful, because for years I've been struggling with the pain I've seen on animals, and I used to find it very distressing. Whereas now I use my skills in mastery to access that negative energy, and I bringing it up through the body and up and out. And I will often have clients, and in my group webinars, I get them to go down to the earth, receive into their pillar of light that's running right through the center of your body, receive it, the energies from there up into your body, and then carry on going up through your physical body, up to the sun, and receive the energies that are coming from the sun, with all the solar flares and activity on the sun at the moment. But the sun is a gateway to source energy that's far in the distance behind. And of course, it's a gateway to many other star families as well. And the wells go through the gates of the sun to come and leave the solar system and travel back to Sirius B, and they do it very easily. And I describe how it feels like to travel through the dimensions, through the timelines, and going back in time. The wells have taken me to the most beautiful places. I went to the really early Earth ones, and I saw a huge lake, most crystalline clear water from the Pyrenees up over to Ireland, all over Glastonbury, and it was just amazing to see. And they're going to show us a lot more. So I'm writing a book as well of all the things I've seen, because I think we need to know there's so much more to this life of ours, and there's so much more to you. And that's what's important to all of the higher beings, that each of us comes into our mastery. So I probably ought to channel a little bit from Henry. So let's just hear if Henry can say he's laughing and he's saying, "Oh, it's lovely to meet you. It's lovely that you're talking about me. And I love it that you love me, and I know that you connect with me deeply." But he says, "I'm here for everyone. There is no one I'm not here for, and no pain that he cannot help you to release." He said the whales and dolphins just want to help release the pain and the struggle of many lifetimes with ease and grace. Make it easy and more easier. But even then, sometimes as the pain comes off the physical body, it does tend to hurt a little bit. And there's techniques we can do to help that. So what else is Henry saying? He said that come into the waters with him for just a few minutes. Imagine you're going on a journey to Sirius B. I'm taking you there, and you're meeting Henry. He's going to glide you through the waters. The waters are ice cold on Sirius B. Can you feel how cold the waters are? It's sort of breathtaking. They're so incredibly cold, and the energy field around your body will change so that you can go into the icy waters. And of course, they're very pure as well, really pure. So he often takes clients. He takes me to a beautiful tree like you see on Avatar. You know, that tree with the dangling leaves coming down and that thread into the body. And that tree is a sacred site on Sirius B as well. There's probably several of them. So the dogs are going to be misbehaved, so I'm going to say goodbye. I'll tell you more about Henry another time as well. There's always stories about Henry. So